All right, folks, hello and welcome back to another episode of the World Oil Deep Dive Podcast. I want to thank you for joining us today because we've got one of my favorite topics we're discussing, and that's the world of production. We're going to be talking about ESP strategies, optimization, the evolution of production, the whole nine yards. So it's a really exciting conversation, and if you've joined us before in the past, you know it's not just going to be me on the show. We've got some technical experts joining us to shed light on these different and complex topics that are being introduced to our industry. And so without further ado, I want to introduce the folks from NOV. Joining us, we've got Matt Gipson, who is president of Artificial Lift Systems Business Unit at NOV. And also joining us is Austin Wilcox, Senior Director of Automation, Control, and Optimization at NOV. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Austin. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you guys on the show. And so for our viewers, for our listeners at home, we always like to start the show with a little bit of background on you guys, right? So if you could kick us off, Matt, maybe talk us through your journey into becoming president of the Artificial Lift Systems Group over at NOV and how you came to be here.
Sure. So I've been in the electrical submersible pump industry for the last 20 years with various oil field service companies, but most recently joined NOV in January of 2024 through an acquisition of extract companies, of which I was a co-founder of. And we started extract in 2017, and I came to NOV through that acquisition, and happy to be at NOV here for about a year and a half.
Okay, fantastic. What about you, Austin? How did you come into your role as a senior director over at NOV?
Yeah, so I've been with NOV almost 15 years. I started back in 2011. Really came in as a marketing strategy, business strategy type role, and have taken on a variety of challenges over the last almost 15 years. Serving through our engineering group, also transitioned into a service team for a little bit, and then ultimately landed in the world of digital and started in that role back in 2017. So I've been doing that the majority of the time since I've been with the company, and that brings me to today, which Senior Director of Automation, Control, and Optimization, and just have a really awesome role at NOV. I get to work with a group of great leadership in the artificial lift team. I've got an extremely talented team of SMEs and technical experts, and we just get to work with cool technology and engage our customers, collaborate with them, and it's just a really exciting environment.
Well, I think it's a really short list of companies that should be talking on this topic, and NOV's right up there, right? So we're really excited to have you both joining us on the show. Matt, I'll start with you. You know, the oil industry and the production landscape has evolved, right, over so many years, right?
Yes.
How has production operations changed in the last 10 years specifically? And to that degree, what's remained constant?
Yeah. I think it's changed and evolved significantly over the last 10 years, especially when we're talking about unconventional well production and specifically with artificial lift and more specifically with ESPs. 10 years ago, I would say that the production operations in terms of digital solutions was really more focused on monitoring wells and looking at wells. Are wells running or are they not running? And I think over the last 10 years, that's evolved because there's a tremendous amount of pressure on operators to reduce OPEX and to be more efficient with the capital discipline approach that the operators have now. And really, the overarching principle of that is to try to do more with less and to use technology and leverage technology to do that. So I would say it's evolved significantly in the last 10 years that way, and operators are much more reliant in today's world on technology to produce wells. For many years, the operators were focused primarily on drilling and completion efficiencies, and I think that the industry really made a lot of strides there and did a very good job. Yep. And now we've got a lot of legacy production and a lot of wells, and operators have recognized that they have to be better at producing these wells. And I think the digital solutions and technology that's out there is really going to be a big part of that answer.
Yeah, and so let's continue down this rabbit hole, if you will, because I know you've got the background in ESPs and artificial lift, and as president of Artificial Lift Solutions, talk me through some of these challenges facing folks like the production engineers, particularly in the artificial lift
Sure.
operations, as it regards to ESPs.
Yeah, I think the challenge is for the production engineers is a lot of these production engineers have to be knowledgeable on many different forms of artificial lift as the well runs the life cycle of decline. So it's very hard to be an expert in ESPs and gas lift and rod lift and multiple forms of lift that's needed to produce these wells efficiently. So there's just not that much time to be an expert in all of that, but they have to be well versed in that. Also, I would say that there's less engineering resources in a lot of the operators today, and so just the amount of volume of wells that the production engineers are having to look after itself is a challenge, and it's really hard for a production engineer to review all of their wells every single day. And so, one of the biggest challenges is operators really would like a way to prioritize the most challenging and problem wells that they have, if you will, where they can go look at where are the things that I need to focus on today that are really going to move the needle in terms of the my wells that I'm responsible for. And I think that's a function of, like I say, operators looking to reduce OpEx to be more efficient themselves. And so the challenge is just the sheer volume of wells to look after and being able to prioritize really on the wells that need to be focused on to move the needle.
Yeah, and so you talk about the sheer volume of wells, less resources. Austin, I'm going to kind of shift over to you. Is that what brought about what NOV is calling max production? I mean, what does that do to enhance the ESP operational strategy at the end of the day?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Sure. Let me start by giving a little bit of background and some context here. So,
Absolutely.
we're talking production, but the max story starts a few years back, and NOV invested in a digital infrastructure and platform called Max, and so that's where the Max name comes from here. So NOV has built a family of products on that Max platform. This includes drilling, completions, and now Max Production, which is the latest addition to that family. So I would say that the trend in automation and the trend toward digitizing the oil field, the upstream oil field, has started a long time ago, and even in the production space, and it's just now reaching a level of adoption and maturity in the production space where this is very relevant to transforming the way we work now in production. And yes, so that's a little bit of background and why the Max Production platform was built, or the software application. So that software application sits on top of NOV's Max Edge to Cloud platform, and it is purpose built for production. So we took the same technology that we applied in drilling and completion, and now we're applying that in the production space. But it's really flexible, can manage data really from any production asset. It's pre-configured with up to 30 different industrial protocols. So we can generate data, high value, high frequency data from anywhere. We take that data, we turn it into insights, ultimately with the end goal of streamlining and improving decision making throughout the entire life of those assets. And that's really important based on what Matt was saying about the state of the industry here. So, but when we talk about ESPs specifically, when you look at ESPs, it's all about run life, efficiency, and maximize the production. So we take that high frequency data, we run it through some custom built analytics engines that we have specifically for ESP operations. And yes, this brings you the base level features, which is real-time monitoring and reporting of KPIs, remote control, smart alerting for signatures like, gas interference, gas locking, and inefficient kind of drawdown. But we've also built in some really high value features that are really exciting. Specifically, one particular tool that we've put in here is called Production Forecasting and Optimization Tool.
Okay.
This tool integrates a variety of products that are found in the market today into one software program. So it integrates nodal analysis, IPR curves, comparative lift analysis, and it becomes this real-time decision-making tool combining all these things into one. We've combined them, but we've also connected them with live data. So before, you're manually entering data points into software programs, right? And you're getting some output of that coming back. Well, now this is connected with live data. So at any point in time, you can go in and look at the status and leverage all of those tools really in real time.
Well, I imagine that's got to be a real help to the engineering team, right? They've got live data. They can see where the biggest problems are, the biggest problem wells are. They can attack things more efficiently. That's got to be an engineer's dream, right, Austin?
For sure, yes. We like to think of production engineers like doctors. They're well doctors. And what do doctors need most? They need information, and they need the best diagnostic tools they can get, right? With the ultimate goal of keeping the well healthy and optimally producing throughout the life, right? The production forecasting and optimization program has been used on over 5,000 wells so far.
Wow. Okay.
We've had really good results with it. One particular case study, we saw a production increase by 6,000 barrels over the first 100 days of production. Just to give you a little bit of insight there into some of the results that we're getting. But yes, absolutely, production engineers need to get all this information in one place and make really quick, smart decisions based off of that on a daily basis.
No, that's fantastic. And so we've talked a little bit about operational strategy when it comes to ESPs, but let's get a little bit more specific. Talk me through some of the ESP challenges that you guys are seeing from the NOV side for your customers and across the industry. Matt, if you don't mind, take it away.
Sure. Yeah, I think when we talk to customers, there's a couple of things that are a focal point and some of the biggest drivers of their cash flow performance. And that's really around ESP runtime or mean time between failure and keeping the units running as long as possible, but also uptime and how long is the ESP running, and having shutdowns and that kind of thing. So, one of the challenges in these unconventional wells, obviously, is gas interference. And the gas interference can cause nuisance shutdowns, gas locking, those kind of things. And so I think there's an opportunity with the software and some of the digital tools to basically run through some of those events and keep the well running longer than it otherwise would, but also to prolong ESP run life, which are the biggest concerns of the operators we talk to and really what they're focused on. So that's really what we deal with. But we're in a dynamic environment in these wells where these wells are declining over a period of time in terms of total volume. As they decline, they typically produce more gas, which is more challenging for an ESP. And so there's definitely a need to be able to deal with that and be able to continue to create good well uptime and runtime.
Yeah, and so how does that, all of that encompass into sort of the customer journey when they're adopting a platform like this? Austin, maybe you can shed light on that side of it.
Yeah. When you're talking about ESPs and really optimizing those ESPs and what max production can provide around that, is clear. But I do want to touch on the point that you can't just install something and walk away from it. So we take this approach where we stay engaged with the customer. We track the performance of the system, of the ESP. We adapt that system along the way, and we make sure that they're actually achieving their goals. I said in the beginning that we have a team of SMEs and experts that are able, they develop these tools that we have, but they're also able to take a deeper look into wells that we have on the platform, right? So at the end of the day, we really want our customers to view us as an extension of their team, and that we're on this journey with them, and we want them to be excited about engaging us and logging in and just discovering new things in max production on a daily basis. So we want to be with them throughout the entire journey here. We don't just give them a tool and then walk away from it.
Absolutely. And we talk about a world with less resources. It sounds like max production is tackling that issue head on. So that's really exciting. Can you walk me through, Austin, how max production is built to serve companies at different stages throughout the digital transformation? And furthermore, what's your approach to customer success in this journey?
Yeah, well, I'll start by saying that really every customer is different, right? They're coming to the table at a different stage in their journey, and they're all running at different paces, right? So while in the end they have the same goals, they're working to get there, at different paces and are at different stages. So realizing this, we don't really come in the door with a one size fits all approach. We collaborate with the customer. We deeply understand how they're currently operating. We define some pain points. We set goals. We co-create solutions that align with those goals, and try to get them farther along in this journey than they are today. So, you got customers that are kind of at this point where remote visibility and alarm-based control are okay, and that's just where they are. You've got other customers that are ready to take this to the next level and look at AI products and really further advance their optimization and automation. And we built max production with out-of-the-box solutions for both of those scenarios. But we've also got tons of flexibility built in to really adapt and customize the system to meet our customers where they are.
That's beautiful. So we're focused on sort of a custom platform for the customer, right? Where does third-party integration kind of come into that formula when you're talking about AI and machine learning with this platform?
Yeah, so I think we live in a world where third-party integrations or just integrations outside of whatever platform you're operating on are extremely important, if not absolutely required. Technology is moving at a pace where I don't think any individual company can keep up with all the tools that are being developed, right? So in terms of max production, openness of max production and the max platform itself is really at the heart of everything we do. It's built on an open agnostic platform. It supports all forms of artificial lift and really any production assets. Some customers that we talk to, they have existing tools that they just really like, and they don't want to go through the pain of switching. And we've all been through painful implementations of new systems, right? They're very difficult, and they're never fun, and it takes a long time to get to where you want to go on the back end.
Absolutely.
So, understanding this, we try everything we can do to eliminate that pain. So this open platform makes it easy to plug in any existing system or third-party application, AI, machine learning models, et cetera. And really, at the end of the day, what this means is that customers can continue to use what they like, and they can easily integrate with anything else that's offered in the market. So what's really cool is this helps kind of accelerate the digital transformation. It certainly makes it less painful and easier to adopt. So companies can focus on getting the best tools for their job without being locked into a single platform, program, or ecosystem. So when they make an investment in emerging technology like AI and autonomous control loops, easy to plug in, easy to convert or switch to other things, that's where we got to keep this so customers have a lot of options to do what's best.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's definitely an evolution within digital transformation in terms of how AI is being implemented. It's great to see that NOV is kind of accepting that role within the industry and using it to their own platform's benefit, right, and for their customers, for companies around the world to enjoy. We've talked a lot about automation. We've talked a lot about the AI shaping the future. Matt, Austin, can you guys kind of talk me through how you see those two things continuing to shape the future of production engineering?
Yeah, I'll start with that. Yes, I think we're going to move over the course of time, utilizing the AI tools and the like to more, I'll say, complete autonomous well production, where we're limiting human intervention on location. I think there's a meaningful uplift in production and optimization of the production volumes that companies can get using the AI models to basically operate the well per a model, and also reduce HSE risk by not having to send technicians or other people to a location to intervene. And so ideally, we talk to a lot of clients about full stream automation, where we're using remote operated valving and the like from the wellhead and the software tools to basically produce the well without intervention, but also all the way to the facility where the saltwater and oil and gas end up, and automating that entire process using these tools. So I think that's real exciting. I believe that's where the industry's headed. There are a lot of other industries that have automated these processes. The oil field has its own unique set of challenges in that regard, but I think the efficiency gains and the just the production optimization and maximization that can happen with that is a needle mover for the oil and gas industry overall.
Yeah, Austin, do you want to add anything to that? Where you see AI and automation kind of shaping the future, maybe 10 years from now onward, if you can put on your prophet hat for us.
Yeah, definitely. I'll echo a little bit of what Matt said and kind of expand a little bit. But yeah, we read a survey, Kimberlite Research survey, a couple weeks ago, and we noticed that in this survey they highlighted that 30% of oil and gas operators believe that AI machine learning is going to have a really great impact on production optimization specifically, and that response was greater than any other category in the upstream, by the way. So the market clearly sees an opportunity to make improvements in the way they're operating today, and willing to make investments in that. And we're already starting to see that happen. We're seeing some small pilots where operators are taking the system recommendations that they may be getting today, and they're turning that loose and going into a little bit of fully autonomous on the wellhead, and while that's happening, I think and seeing good results from this, I think it's going to take a lot of trust and confidence in these systems building over time before we get widespread adoption here. NOV is also actively piloting and looking at AI integrations with third-party analytics here. And, we do believe that full automation is going to become mainstream over the next several years, but only after these pilots really prove consistent, successful results, right? Operators aren't going to just jump in with something that's totally new and not, have experienced the outcome and results for themselves, right? So it's going to take time, but it's certainly on the horizon in the future.
Yeah, well, that's always the name of the game, right, Austin, is, operators don't jump on things right away. They want to see it work, and then they'll adopt it themselves, right? But and just the stats you gave earlier, I mean, 5,000 wells, 6,000 barrels over increase over 100 days. I mean, it sounds like this stuff is really working, right? I mean, at least at first glance.
Yeah, absolutely. And the smart alerts and recommendations, if you will, that the algorithms and data analytics are pushing out today, that's really the first step, right? You got to get operators comfortable with you seeing those recommendations and taking action. But you lose a little bit of time, between when you actually receive an alert and when you actually take action. Number one. Number two, you still have scenarios where you've got some manual intervention going on there, right? So you get a recommendation, and then you accept that recommendation. Then you either push a button or somebody goes out and makes an adjustment in the field. And that's great, but to really get the full benefit of the automation, you've got to get that to where it's an automatic, rather than clicking a button or having to respond to an alert. You're confident enough, and there's fail-safes, safety operations built in the system to where you just let it run on its own, and then you get the full benefit of that without any delays and without any manual interaction or intervention there.
Right. Well, there's no doubt within our industry that we're seeing the evolution of AI automation sort of take over and help in these efficiency gains. It's been fantastic to hear NOV's stance and adoption on that front. So I first and foremost want to thank you guys for joining us on today's episode. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you both. And let us know where folks, if they want to see the platform up close and personal, where can they go to check out more on this?
Yep, they can go to NOV.com. Obviously, there's a lot of information on there, but specifically call me.
Beautiful.
We can post my contact information somewhere, but yes, please contact me. I'll help you with anything you need help with.
Perfect. And we can post that kind of stuff in our show notes. So if you're listening or viewing on our YouTube channel, be sure to check out those show notes to learn more about NOV's Max Production. Guys, thanks again for joining the show. It's been an absolute pleasure, and all the best moving forward.
Thanks for having us, Austin. Really appreciate it.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
Solutions. From Artificial Lift Solutions. Joining us from Artificial Lift Systems. Systems